well, and you took in a lot from our last session. Now, many of you could not attend, but I did send through all your slides and the recording for our Google Analytics. Now, we're changing channels and stations, and we're kind of flipping the chart. This is going to be, hey, Nick, online. Welcome, Nick. Did you have any specific question? So this is all about online reputation management. We're really going to delve into reviews today, guys. Just look at the importance, why we need to put more focus onto our reviews, and certainly how we can leverage from them. Now, I've got my little screen up, all good to go, so I can see all your questions. And if you want to put your hand up, and if you've got anything else to add, that will be, just shoot, go for it. The more engaged, the better. So any challenges that this is me, we'll skip through all of this. So what we'll cover today, why does this all matter? We should take it more seriously. Online reputation strategies, the power of TripAdvisor and email marketing, and more to do with that is creating systems around your follow-up. So you'll hear me say a lot and this is also relevant in social media as well as it is just in any type of feedback. You notice I do the same thing in my business and in my service, and I will do it again today. Please email me your feedback. Please, I mean, we want to improve what we do by way of feedback from the very people that experience our products. And the impact, of course, on organic search. We'll delve into reviews on TripAdvisor. So that's the main platform that we're looking at today, being the very, kind of the, I would say, just like I talk about our website being the mothership of our business, or particularly for our digital tentacles and where we want to store all of our information. TripAdvisor would be the pinnacle of the review sites for our industry. But watch out, TripAdvisor, there's a lot more in the, kind of on the TripAdvisor trail, and that's something I want to talk to you guys about today as well, that we don't want to put all of our eggs in the TripAdvisor basket and ignoring other very important indexed tools where a lot of our clients are also hanging out. What other, and that's really going into all the other sites that we need to pay attention to. So kind of putting it on our radar of like, okay, how can we also attract reviews on the likes of Facebook, for example, okay? So let's get into things. A lot of you have not yet taken up the offer of Tourism Tribe for your free 12-month membership. Now, I've gone through before the benefits. I'll skim through, but certainly there's over 400 now. See how long we've been together. I'm going to miss getting together with you guys regularly. So it's really growing, and it goes to prove how much we need to support each other as tourism operators, accommodation, attractions, and support each other in a community of like-mindedness in how to grow our businesses online. So the benefits, there are heaps of benefits there to get on board. It's free for you, 12 months. So check it out. So the URL there to go back, tourismtribe.com/adhoc, ATHOC. Okay, so why is this important? Okay, so let's go into why we're talking about online reputation. For guys, I don't want to be talking about this not only for yourself, not only for your business, but for yourselves as general managers, as business owners, as a marketing manager. You are all professionals in your industry, and we really have to watch what we're putting out there, for our own professional careers as well as, of course, your business. So why is this important to us? 96% of travelers start their planning with a search online. So before they've even thought about where they're going to, even when they're in the dream state of where is the next place I'm going to enjoy my leisurely time or where is the next place I'm going to go conferencing to. I know with my field of being on top of my digital marketing, even at the moment, I'm looking at destinations and what, you know, how I can kind of mix business with pleasure. So 96, and of course, like the 96%, my first port of call was to go on and search online onto my trusted Google friend. Travel is more likely to see what others say about your hotel before you have what to say about your hotel. So the credibility lies, much of it lies in what others who have been there and done that say about staying with you, okay? So it is all very important stuff. Your reviews and online reputation is one of the utmost criteria for making a final decision. Now, I always say this is not new to any of us, but what we need to always go back to is putting yourself in your customer's shoes. We said that at the very, very beginning, okay? I want you to think about the way whether you're in the midst of planning a holiday, or if it's not you and it's your partner, if it's not you and it's someone else, it's your assistant, tap into their minds. What is it that they're looking for? And emulate that and translate that into your business, okay? Another thing is ask, are we providing the facility or the process to ask our customers for this type of feedback of what was important to them, okay? So this is all, this should no longer be a part of your just another thing. It should be a very important component of your marketing mix, okay, with your online reputation management. High ratings means you have a good reputation automatically. That will drive demand to your business. So I give you an example. There is a Vietnamese restaurant where my kids are obsessed with Subway. Okay, so Friday night it's their treat, which is, I'm really glad they made the discovery. It's something that's a little bit healthier. Anyway, where I'm alluding to is around the corner to this somewhere, there's this tiny little Vietnamese restaurant that always has a line around, like, coming out of the restaurant. Now, I only want to go to see this because there's so many people, and it's not at a busy street, it's like in a suburban street of, takeaway shops, but this place has got so much interest. I want to go there just for that. And this is the same thing for you. If you're driving this type of feedback to your profiles, it automatically drives demand. You automatically put yourself ahead of the competition, because I want to go where I don't want to go where the people are at, where they've experienced it. I want to go where the raving fans are, okay? So it automatically drives the demand. According to TripAdvisor, 93% of people find reviews important when choosing hotels. So do I, and I'm sure so do you too. 53% would not book a hotel without a guest opinion first. So that's over 50%, over half of people that TripAdvisor themselves have reviewed, and there's millions of people on there, will not book a hotel without a guest opinion. And again, I'm the same. And if you will find the behavior now, we're becoming a very review economy. And this is very much the very beginning of the sharing economy, where people sharing their experiences and holding a lot of value and credibility, that without having that guest opinion, I am translating this now. I'm finding my own purchasing behavior. I am looking for reviews in any type of product that I'm purchasing, not just in a travel sense. So it's becoming more and more valued and sought after across many industries and many products. I think we were real the very beginning, particularly with the likes of TripAdvisor, but you find it holds a lot of value. Okay, So your online reputation needs to become an essential part of your marketing mix. Yes, I mentioned that earlier. It's no longer just something, that's loosely done ad hoc. We need to actually really put a focus around this. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're talking about in terms of online reputation management. What are they saying about you, okay? And how can we translate this into our business? One, to make improvements to our customer service, because I think this is really one of the biggest benefits I found in our business at Global Ballooning, and this is where I really delved into TripAdvisor. And I think we can all remember where we were sitting and what we were eating and what we were doing when we had our first scathing review. I know where I was, and I went into like, oh, what do I do? This is all there and I can't delete it. I can't respond. It was, so we want to really put a focus and a priority on this. So the Census social media report revealed 70% of social media users read online reviews before making a purchase. Now, I add this in there because, like I mentioned earlier, it's not just TripAdvisor. We are also, Facebook reviews are becoming more and more sought after. Google, I know every time I search for a business on Google, I look at the reviews. In fact, I know I hired my DJ for my husband's 40th birthday because of his reviews. Now, the interesting thing about that was I loved his strategy and follow-up process, the way he engaged me to also go on Google and give him a review. And this is what I want to, if there's anything that you will take out of today, is that you will apply a follow-up strategy to the way you ask for your guests, particularly your raving fans, about how they will, how they can easily leave a review for the business. The word there is easy. We want it to give them the information or what they need to do to make it easy for them to do it, okay? So trust is in the consumer. So here I've just got a screenshot from the census report saying consumers trust friends more than they trust brands. I'm sure you do too, right? So recommendations from people I know. I have lost count of the amount of friends I have within my own social network, particularly on Facebook, of friends just asking me, where did you get that, I'm going to X. Can anyone recommend somewhere to stay? In fact, even for product, I posted a video, some lighting equipment that I purchased recently for for my video little productions that I do. And recently, I mean, this was 18 months ago when I purchased them, but still a friend, well, I would say more of a colleague within my own community said, where did you get that from? And I know that's happened within my own holiday photos. So you think I share my own personal experience because this is what's happening now. I stayed somewhere in Port Douglas. I had someone 6 months later say, where was the hotel you stayed at? They had a really nice pool. So, I mean, it all kind of intertwines into how we are actually capturing this type of information of what people are saying about us within their networks, okay? Because that's who they're trusting, okay? So we want to be doing more of that in eliciting the share. Consumer opinions posted online, absolutely. I mean, I am still flabbergasted at the places that I stay. And, I mean, I'm a social girl. I mean, in terms of I do social media. If I'm staying somewhere, I will shout it from the rooftops. But I'm flabbergasted at how little or lack thereof of engagement of businesses talking back to me. I think that's something we can definitely improve on as an industry, okay? Branded website, 58%. So yes, they are still looking at the way we look. Are we mobile optimized and all of those things? Online ads, so things coming in the radar. But the most important in the trust factor, I mean, look at that in the don't trust and trust. Okay, so best way to get reviews. If you don't see what you want, ask for it. Okay, this is the key thing. If you're not getting enough reviews, if I was a betting woman, you're not really have a strategy in place to ask for more reviews. Okay, so this is something that we want to provide, and we want to systemize. Okay, we need to think about these things of just like many things that we've spoken to about in the past webinars. We need to kind of go to who is going to be the best person. How are we going to capture the information to be able to send out? Is it going to be sent out in an email blast at the end of the day, at the beginning of the next day? So we have all the information and the tools that we need to do this. Okay, now, question time that I have for you. Who has a system in place for asking for reviews? Do you have an online review system in place? Abigail, is that a hand up as a yes? You do? Awesome. You rock. Anyone else? We do a welcome home email and ask them. Love it. That's a great way. Welcome home email. I love that. So actually say, welcome back. How did you enjoy your stay? Nick, yes. Anybody have any challenges around this? So that's a good one. Anyone else? Nick, what do you do with yours? With your what strategy do you have in the way you ask for reviews? Might help everyone else. So Kylie said we do a welcome home email. So time frame in responding, is that a challenge, Abigail, in the time frame in responding? Yeah, so Abigail's saying like a challenge that she has is, I'm assuming, like in what time frame to respond, in how far from when they check out to going. I mean, the other thing is, I think this is an element of, we try to do 48 hours. I think that is perfect for a 48-hour. Think something that, I mean, unless some of you do this, this is something that we also want to capture. I mean, we are all traveling with our little mini computers. So, you have guests staying with you. I think this is also part that if it is not already something that may be required as a little bit more training of your front office staff or your reception staff, the frontliners, the people that are engaged and having that, conversation of did you enjoy your stay, like having that as a we also have welcome back comms. Fantastic. So Nick's saying that they have a marketing, they actually outsource this to deal with the communications of the post follow-up. But certainly I think that if it is not already done, we want our frontline staff to be really well trained into, we do not want to see a guest leave our property without, having that face-to-face rapport, because that's when it's the really heightened state. It's in the same way, and this is no different, guys, to asking for those video testimonials that we talked about. Remember, we talked about building case studies and video content for our websites and our social media. I would put this into the same arena to ask for the review and how much it benefits your business from your frontline staff. Now, we have a QR code on the back doors for people to scan and review whilst here. That's another great tip for anyone else to take. That's a great one. I mean, I've seen that on the back of a door, you know, please like us on Facebook and leave a review, which I thought was really good. The QR code, again, we were talking about easy. I think that's another good suggestion. So no, an in-house department, fab, great stuff. So it's got in-house department that does that. Well, that's great. So even amongst each other, we can get some good tips on how we do it. We certainly had, I mean, with our tourism business, the way we did it with our passengers, I always like to, you know, part of the spiel at the end, we're saying again, it's when they're at their most heightened state for them to be inspired to leave a review. So we did create some business card-sized, like, you know, cards that were like the size of a business card that actually had the links, the URLs to capture, you know, everyone has a different preferred preferred medium of where they want to go. So we just listed all of those top 4 from TripAdvisor, Google, Facebook, and then we said, you know, we also invited just an email to us directly. Okay, is that helpful? How are we going? Any questions, comments on anything we've covered so far? We're all good to go? Awesome. Please shout out any questions. So, different ways that small businesses, so some we've already covered. So, the most, like, this is from that census report as well, when it came to asking reviews of how this is generic to how small businesses are asking customers to write reviews. 75% are asking in person. Now, I certainly saw most, I get most response out of reviews when asking in person was the same at Global Ballooning. Emailing customers, 45%, asking over social media, actually picking up the phone and calling, which is now my DJ guy that I gave you so he made a concerted effort to email me and keep track. He must have kept track of my review because I didn't. It wasn't something I got on top of straight away. So he gave me a follow-up call every couple of weeks to give a review, which, you know, I mean, I appreciated because I just appreciated that he had a process for doing that. I can appreciate also that some people might find that too much. Post a request on my website. Work with a vendor that helps me get reviews, so outsourcing. Mail customers, so actually, you know, we can see how mail is, yeah, I mean, that 8%, that's not really the top of my list of what I'd recommend. But there's also some suggestions there if you need to drive things up a little further. So, do you know what people are saying about you online? Have you done a Google search lately of putting your business name in Google and reviews next to it? So if I was Spence B&B reviews, and then having all of your review sites come up. So no longer acceptable to have a few great reviews on one platform and expect everyone will be there and hanging out there and read it from there. Okay, so I know since I've been really heavily involved in Facebook marketing, certainly even for myself as a consumer, I'm not as, you know, I mean, TripAdvisor, it's still very relevant, but I still do look at the review sites on Facebook pages as well. So we want to get things a little bit more evenly skewed. Monitoring your feedback. So when it comes to what is being told about you, you know, have you set all the right notifications in your listings that you are actually keeping on top of what is being said, and your online reputation on all of these platforms? And, you know, we're not talking only Google Plus and Facebook, but the Booking.com, Expedia, Hotels.com. One of you, so Cambridge, one of you, I don't know, I haven't matched the name, but do we have the Cambridge hotel representative in the house? Are you here? Is anyone here? I know there's a participant from Cambridge, but I don't know where you're from. It doesn't look like it. But anyway, I just did a random. Really, they were like just the first one that I saw on the list of all the participants in this series. So, and I want to just go in and just delve into what I found. Now, one thing that I like now in having a little bit of a snoopy snoop at some of yours is that reviews also featured on their top tab. Now, this is something really important, and for those of you, some of you don't, and those of you that don't have that, you might want to look at putting reviews, you know, what our clients say, what our guests say, somewhere featured on your website. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am just going to go into what, you know, something I prepared earlier. So what we're talking about now, and I mean, this is not going to be anything new to many of you, but gee, I mean, just the reviews that are populated, even from the likes of, you know, from bookings.com. I mean, there's thousands upon thousands. So say for bookings.com for Cambridge, we're looking at, yeah, there was over 2,500. So 85% good, beautiful. View all, 2.5. See, look what's happening while I'm live on this site. 15% booked this hotel in 48 hours. 6 others are viewing this hotel. They're like, they can know I'm kind of hanging out here, and they're putting this pressure on me, like, oh, I don't want to miss the date that I'm on. So anyway, I don't know how much of this that you guys are looking at the third party through your online booking platforms and channel managers, but certainly, I mean, people are taking a lot of time to look at the pros and the cons of your business. I mean, I would definitely be looking at all of this. Reasonably clean hotel, pros and cons. Now, some of them, maybe they've just not gotten back into, you know, gotten on top of them. But what I love about what Cambridge is doing is that there's a hotel management response on every platform to on every platform with every review. And you can see even with Facebook, I mean, it's not as much as the bookings.com, but there's, you know, they've also gathered 273 reviews on the Facebook account. And again, they're engaging in the review process, because this is one of the really big mistakes that I see happening a lot, that there's reviews left, comments made, photos shared, and brands and businesses are not taking the time to go out there. I like this. It's personalized. You know, contact our managers. We'll get on top of this, because this is your online reputation. This is what your customers are looking at. So even though I'm just guessing by seeing the word disappointing that this isn't, and of course a 2-star review. Okay, it's not the best review, but when you're amongst 5 and 4-star reviews and you can see that you've taken the time to personally respond, it speaks of volumes in service. Okay, so when you see this play out, so we've looked at, sorry, I was looking at Expedia before, not booking.com. So this is all something that I just prepared earlier, just to show you all the different tentacles of what has been said. And I really want to put this on your radar, that I hope you're all keeping on top of this as well. So Cambridge Hotel, here we go, another 1,500 reviews through, where am I here? Booking.com. Okay. So there's a 1,500. I haven't even gone into TripAdvisor yet. And these are all populated. And, you know, again, when we go, and I'm now just curious, when we go onto Trivago is another one that just, you know, really populates everything that's been said everywhere. So all of the others. So you can see just the tentacles. So even a review we said once, whether it's good, here we are, 80%, or bad. There's that same one, reasonably clean hotel. They've actually then given it a visual. Remember we talked about visuals? So visuals, so if someone's just like not scanning, they can just see this. If you had a few reds here, and all of these Trivago are populated from different from different booking sites, if you had a few reds here, like you'd be in trouble. So we want to be making sure, I want you to be on top of your review sites where you feature. And then, we have TripAdvisor. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But what I just wanted to see how Cambridge Hotel, yes, I want to talk to you about this. So there's a reviews here, but you can see guest reviews, nothing is clickable. It's all been coming up. Now, this looks like a third-party source, Revenate, that is doing this, and maybe they're just populating the top 4 or 5, but it's very static, okay? I just see this. This is, this is a little bit more engaging, and we can go into, another 3,000. Look at this now. We had 2,500 on one, 1,500 on the other, another 3,000 reviews here. So your customers, your guests are talking about you, and we want to translate this. This is something where I talk about, we could definitely look at improving how this is all presented, and also look at improving, gaining our own reviews. And if we have time, I'd like to show you how I am actively populating the reviews on the website, I'm about to launch. Because here, this is, remember again, guys, this is property that you own and you can present in the best way. So if you have a corporate client, there's nothing for you to create your own little beautifully presented review section of what your clients have to say, okay, where it's clickable and it's more engaging, and it almost builds, you can build a case study around the experience that you've provided for your guests. Hope that makes sense to you. So that's just giving you, I just wanted to give you that as an example of just the reach, that although we're talking about TripAdvisor, we don't want to ignore what's happening on all of these other channels where your business features and profiles. Okay, how are we going? Any questions? Comments? No? Doing good? So let's go from current slide. Now, a way to monitor your feedback and your reputation and anything that's mentioned to you online is Google Alerts. Who uses Google Alerts? Just give me a yes or a hands up. Does anyone use Google Alerts? Google Alerts, Rebecca. Thanks, Rebecca. So Google Alerts, I use it all the time, and I've used it for years. I used it for global, I think, just for inspiration on destination news, on your brand news, or, alert. It literally means Google will scan the World Wide Web daily or however often you want it, and send you an email with articles or posts of where you've been mentioned, okay? So it's very easy to set up, google.com/alert, so you might want to check that out. So how can I assess and respond? Remember when we were talking about, I like things to be really simple and easy for you to create a plan around, okay? So who's going to be who responds and who reviewed you, okay? So we want to go back to the person. So who is reviewing you? What type of client is reviewing you? This is great stuff. I think, me, I always looking at opportunities for content, so producing content. I think all of this, look at that, there's there was over 5,000 customer reviews for Cambridge Hotel. Like when you're looking at creating copy for your website and for your social media and for the way you engage with your customers, have a look at the way they're writing and what they're writing about you, okay? So who's going to respond and who's going to look at all of this, of who's reviewing where, and to be able to monitor that? What was it about and what are we going to do about it? So there's no point in us, I mean, I would really love to, if you don't already, there was a New York hotel, I had read about this, and they kept on winning like best hotel of the year, and they weren't your high-end flashy hotels because they kept on winning awards, and it's really remiss of me not to know the name of it. If I get it in time for when I send you a follow-up. Anyway, the moral of the story is they were obsessed with their reviews, with asking for it, and obsessed with the follow-up process of improving their processes and customer service. So any review that they received, it was actually the highlight of their weekly team meetings to funnel down. So whatever had happened, like that review that I just showed you at that moment. So what this property did is that whatever that had happened, they would bring the team together and funnel down to the very last touch point of that particular guest's experience, so that every time something happened, it will create a new precedent, a new system, a new process to improve their guest experience. So, and I thought that was really valuable, and I share that often. Just how are you using this feedback, and what are you actually doing about it? More to take on that customer service excellence, to bring you at the top of your game. That if we are getting, like, there is nothing that is going to improve your business more than the person that has taken the time to give you that type of feedback. So which medium are most of our reviews appearing so that you can keep on top of them? Okay, where are they? When are they posted? When are they found? And how quickly are they responded to? So we've talked about how we're asking for how quickly, or the process and the system and the strategy that I want you to think about on how we're gaining, asking for reviews. But how quickly are we responding to them, okay? And how will we respond? Will it always come from the general manager, from the owner, which I highly, do we need to template this out? So I did have, and again, it's really important, we set up all of these notifications for for example, with TripAdvisor, I would receive the comment or the review in an email. I'm sure many of you do the same thing. But are those functionalities available to you for Expedia and the rest of them that you can send for your Facebook page? Do you have a notification set for that? Okay. Questions? Please jump in. So I thought for this, I can deliver this program. I've delivered it over a 4 or 5 hour duration. So I'm just going to, because we're really stretched for time, I'm going to I'm tapping into your mind some of the questions you may have, just from my past experience. Shall I respond to every review? Absolutely. Positive, negative. I want you are leaders in the accommodation game, and I want you to really show that you care about, show that not only that you care, but express gratitude that people have taken the time to share this with you, okay? And because we are all in service excellence and we take these things, we always want to improve, even for the negative ones, that is by way of saying, thank you, got it, and taking that next step from what I was inspired by from this hotel, and this was during my time at Global, from what I was inspired by is actually even saying, as a result of you taking the time, this is what we've done about it. Okay, it's just it just takes things to, oh, just went a little bit crazy there. It just takes things to a next level. So I just had a real panic attack, guys, that I didn't record. Phew, I did. Never fear, to those of you, they're not even here. This will be recorded if you wanted to go back to it or show yourself. So I've received a negative review which wasn't justified. Can I remove it? Most likely not. So what you can do though is respond in a kind, like, please, our file, you can respond in a way that, I cannot find your booking in our system. Can you please let us know when you stayed with us? Like, you can go in a roundabout, kill them with your kindness, okay? But we can't delete. You can go, though, through the rigmarole, and it can be a labour-intensive process of asking or putting it to the Facebook or the TripAdvisors of the world to say, look, this person hasn't stayed. I've reached out to them. They haven't responded. It's phony. It's bogus. But what I have, and I'll share with you a little later, if there is dodginess going on, or competitors or just nasty trying to bring you down or do something that's untoward, there is policies around that from ACCC to prevent that from happening, and also there's consequences for people and businesses that do that too, if found. Can I pay or reward people who leave reviews? The answer to that is no. You can incentivize incentivize, I even use that word with caution. I would say there's no harm and there's nothing to stop you from asking. I would steer away from incentivizing, and if you do incentivize, just to be completely transparent, I would actually, it would need to be put somewhere in your terms and conditions or something, something actually saying that these reviews, we incentivize with something, with a free bottle of wine for anyone that left a review on our site, and some of these reviews may have come from that. Like, you don't want to be coming off as, what is the word I'm looking for? What we want is, we can't fake it online, okay? So when we're talking online reputation, we want our the authentic nature of our brand to be coming out. So there's a difference between asking for a review, and there's a difference between rewarding or saying, saying I'll give you this if you do that, okay? Like, or borderline bribing. If you wanted to wow factor, not to customer service, and this really underpins customer service as well with your online reputation. I do talk about this a lot in any customer service kind of workshop or training, is that when it comes to service, you can wow your customer and say food after they've done it, I think would be a more authentic way. You know what? Because you enjoyed yourself so much and you've taken this time out of your busy day that you could have been doing so many other things, the next time you come and visit, please mention this and you'll receive give them something for nothing. Like, I think that would have more of an impact than the other way around. Make sense? Good idea. I think that's actually that could be a really great way to give a little bit of wow factor to your service. And other people that are seeing that in your responses will be, it's kind of like a cryptic way of getting them to give a review. So do I have to pay to be listed on online reviews? There are paid options, like with most things online and with these big brands, the way they monetize, there are paid. I've never had to pay. You know, you let your service do the talking for you. Okay, you let your positive, your raving fans do that work. So unless you wanted, I mean, it works in the same way. Facebook ads, pay per click. You want to get featured or sponsor your listings in the likes of TripAdvisor, you can. Okay, honesty, integrity, excellence. This is the place that I will always recommend to all of my businesses and all of my clients. This is where we want to come from, and this is what we don't want to get. So I've got an additional resource. So I've got I found this ACCC doc, which I thought would be really valuable for you, and I'll put it in our in the follow-up notes. What you need to know: online reviews, a guide for business and review platforms. So it's a bit of a do's and don'ts, and where you can you know, and if you find yourself. So this is basically saying that they did actually, like, they just gave an example of a business that they did take against for producing misleading online reviews. I know none of you have not done that or gone there, and you know, you never have to, because you're here today present with me. Okay, so you will never have to go there. So let's fly through TripAdvisor. Okay, so rather than telling you what I've got installed, let's just get in there. So, website that contains advice, opinions, reviews, information, travel destinations, but I mean, even more than that, now it's also become another big conglomerate where you not only get to see what you know, you not only get to see, decide, you get to buy. So with TripAdvisor, okay. So I always love to tool you up with some, you know, give you some facts and some stats. So again, staggering, 320 million reviews globally, 6.2 million businesses across, you know, thousands of destinations, many photos, 200 new contributions posted per minute. More than 85% of questions are replied to by other travelers. Even that, you know, I think there's a great opportunity even in that for businesses to more engage in what the travelers are saying. And this is going to be one of the little hacks, little tips that I'm going to share with you in the TripAdvisor platform that I think no one is really doing well. So you're going to hear it first, how you can take some time to lead the way. TripAdvisor mobile. Now, TripAdvisor, like most thing online, the internet is going to be, you know, more and more a mobile device. It's certainly, it's certainly changing more and more to mobile. So, I mean, millions downloaded the TripAdvisor app. Nearly 50%, so half of the users on TripAdvisor are going through a mobile device. Some new mobile innovations that consumers have access to that I thought maybe you are not aware of, that I wanted you to make you aware of, are the near now functionality. So this is like for visitors to your destinations, that they can find nearby restaurants, attractions, and hotels while they're on the go. So we want to be making sure that you're featuring in those near me functions. Offline feature allows travelers to download, and neighborhood allows TripAdvisor users to discover and explore other destinations near them. So we talk a lot about user-generated content in social media. TripAdvisor is the whole premise of it is on user-generated content. The whole premise of it is like, it doesn't matter what I say about me, it matters what those who have experienced my product say about me. So they're all registered users, registered business owners, so you must be registered to be able to respond and build out your listing. And it's used as a resource by travelers to inform their decisions. Absolutely. So we have some features. Is that it's instantaneous booking, okay? So all these massive conglomerates are now partners with TripAdvisor, for me, Expedia's, Orbitz, Travelocity, so many. Because of this, it allows the platform, it's got a feature where it can do real-time hotel room pricing and availability. A tours feature, so many of you, you may or may not be aware of Viator. They were one of our largest on-selling, like they pretty much, that is the, it is like the booking.com of ground content. So all experiences, attractions, passes, like anything that's not hotels or airfares is done through Viator, and TripAdvisor acquired them a couple of years ago, another massive acquisition. So now, you know, they're going to take over the world. They've got the whole accommodation thing sorted, but they also own the tours and attractions. So every time a hotel is booked, they're presented by up to 3 tour options via the Viator system. Forums is what I want to talk to you about. So there's a lot of conversation been happening around the forum section of TripAdvisor. So is it valuable? 93% of global travelers say their booking decisions are impacted by online reviews, and hotels are pretty much saying the same thing. So I just want to quickly thank you for hanging around. Because of my blunder, I was a little bit late. So I'm just, for those of you that are not in a rush to get out of here, I will just keep, we won't be too long. I just think this is one of the most important things that I want to share with you today. And I've got, again, something I prepared for you a little earlier. Now, if I go, so cracking back, if I go here now and say where I'm going, I want to go to Sydney. Okay, I don't know where I want to stay yet, but I know the destination. Now, as soon as I've put in my city, my destination, it's saying, what are you looking for? Now, I don't quite know. At the moment, I just want some more general information, okay? Now, when I go into general information, you see the tabs up here have opened up to give me some more options. Now, something that I think many businesses are missing out on is engaging in the conversation that's happening in the forums. Because in here, you've got, look at this, how many travelers, visitors, potential clients to your destination are sitting here chatting about what they want to do. So one thing that stuck out at me was hotels with a view. So here, hotels with a view for Sydney. So this is just a traveller coming. So that sparked my interest, and I went, okay, hotels with a view. Now this looks like it happened pretty recently. Hotels with a view. So this is also recent today at 4:30. Can anyone recommend a hotel in Sydney with a nice view? Either Opera House, Harbour Bridge, or the harbour. Now, if I was a hotel and I'm actively looking in the forums to engage, and you've got some type of a special or you've got reviews, I mean, what TripAdvisor are doing here, so there's the question, boom, they've given you a suggestion. Here's a suggestion, it's an overview of reviews, show prices. Then we go to 11 replies to this topic. Intercontinental has harbour views. Another one, now all other guests. But what I found interesting, even when I was looking at this this morning, was that not one hotel responds to many, like not an actual property didn't respond to this. So I hope that's been the big kapow, like IMG, like what an untapped resource of people that are actually looking, like that you can actively engage and lead the way. So if we go into something even So Krakenbeck, so one of you, I don't know if you're in the house, who manages? Kylie, did you have a question? Was there a question? You had your hand up. What if you missed the review? Kylie asked. How long is too long to respond? Look, if you miss, I would be checking your reviews like weekly. Like you need to make sure. The one thing I would say to that is be sure to go back into your owner manager and set up your notifications. Now, things get busy. I get it. I know. But you definitely want to, set up the systems, even if it's on your calendar. Set up your system that if whatever works for you. Monday morning job, check reviews from the weekend. Or Tuesday morning, the quietest morning that you have, set a reoccurring weekly calendar in your Outlook, check review sites. Okay, so if you know that, you can get busy and this can fall off the radar easily for you, set yourself up to win, not to fail, by setting up the systems. So put in your calendar, check reviews, even put in the listings in your calendar, in your notes. Put in your listings in there to check if you've had any movement at the station. But the best way is to have the notifications that you receive, at least receive the email. So it just comes direct into your inbox and it will prompt you to respond. And then treat it as a priority for that day or within those 48 hours. Is that helpful? Awesome. So say if we're here, if we go to Krakenbeck Travel Forum, nothing has been said here. So if now I came in here just because I was looking at the Krakenbeck, the website, the resort. I thought, I wonder if they've got any reviews that we could tap into, but they didn't. But there's nothing. Even if you're in a regional area, or if you go, and this is part of your homework now, for you to go and check out the photo forum of your backyard. If I see this as a great opportunity to be the leader and post something, whatever it might be. You could be, if you are the accommodation property on there, you could be the one to go in there and say, we'd love to recommend some of the best things to do in the region. If you visited recently, what was your favorite thing to do? Something like that. Okay, so I would definitely be taking that as an opportunity to lead, be a leading ambassador for your destination, because there's nothing there at the moment, but there's been plenty of action in plenty of travellers going through there. Okay, helpful, all good. We're on the final stretch. I appreciate so much for you guys hanging back with me. I did have a lot to cover. So all of this works, but because we've said it before, there's an immense value on what customers are saying. We increasingly trust our peer reviews. TripAdvisor facilitates this beautifully in what experiences people are having. Guests are visiting. So this was a research that was conducted recently, and it all proves everything that we're saying. If you are not familiar with the management center in the back end of TripAdvisor, I would say, now again, like I said to you, I delivered this over a 4-hour workshop. We do not have time to go through every avenue, but it's also self-explanatory. I implore you all to go and, make sure you've got dotted your I's and crossed your T's. And please, whatever you do, make sure you go in and fill out your profile, update it with beautiful images. If you've got some video, remember, set yourself up to win, because anybody can go on there and post photos, without your permission or approval. So put your property at in the best light. Don't let that, because a lot of you, again, I know we set these things up and we kind of forget them. But I hope after today will prompt you to give it some more love. Review Express, I'll just get into this now while I'm here. This is where you can set up and automate your, an email follow-up for your TripAdvisor. So that's something that's not for everyone, but if you don't have a system, an email follow-up system already in place, you should definitely be checking that out. Okay, and here we've got more of specific benefits just to TripAdvisor, and it's only to complement what we're saying in general of online reputation management. So I hope that I've really painted the picture now that reviews and of just the reach and the impact that not only what is happening on this platform, but overall on the World Wide Web. Okay, so we can't ignore it, because even if you haven't registered, if any of you that are signed up, even if you haven't registered, you might be surprised and find that one of your guests has created a profile for you. So please be on top of that. Now you can keep potential customers on your site. So when you actually have TripAdvisor, the TripAdvisor widget, or when you have TripAdvisor reviews embedded into the homepage of your website, it also gives your customers at a one glance confidence to book. Okay, so that is, now again, in the interest of time, this is easily done. You can get code from TripAdvisor, and it's all in that back-end online manager portal. But if you have a good web developer, I'm sure it will take them, it will be really easy for them to implement. So this is just talking about if you don't already have TripAdvisor reviews on your site. So I'm just flying through here. Average reviewer is not your average customer, so I don't want you to freak out too much. More likely to review if they're either extremely happy or extremely disappointed. You're not getting as much in the middle. I find this myself too. More interested, the consumer is more interested in how you handle your complaint rather than the complaint. So always be mindful of that, and that's another reason why it's so critically important that you reply to everything. Okay, not just the negative and leave the positive. You want to have a system in place. Embrace the feedback and take that next step in your business to change. I think I've really emphasized that. There's some tips on dealing with negative reviews. Again, what I say, always come from a place of kindness, appreciation, and gratitude that they brought this to your attention. Because it could be worse, and they're saying this without you ever knowing, okay? At least, and this is the way I like to think about myself, at least here you also have an opportunity to publicly put your professional best self forward, okay? So always bring your aim game to dealing with negative reviews. More reviews lead to higher ratings. So this is really interesting that it's actually the average review score on TripAdvisor is 4.12. So nearly 50% of reviews are actually 5 stars. So it's not heavily skewed to people going in, which I mean I think is a testament to the authentic, to being authentic way of engaging. I mean, I guess that's the reason why it's so successful. Being proactive, minimize the impact of negative reviews by showing your product in a very positive light. Like I mentioned earlier, please go and update your listing on TripAdvisor. Review Express, I showed you in the real time. I've got a screenshot for your slides here as well of where you need to go to find that if you wanted to implement in your follow-up system. Management responses absolutely matter. So this is where I've given you step by step, if you can implement this as a strategy for your response, for your responses. So sign up for review, notification emails, read the TripAdvisor guidelines. So this has come up from them because they don't publish a lot of your responses. So you find, I have found in the past, if I directly there's just all little grey areas that TripAdvisor are quite pedantic about, so you have to be familiar with them, okay? This is not the way to respond. If you want a good breastfeed, go to the Hilton and pay £1,000 a night. You pay little, you get little. So this is quite mortifying to find reviews like that, and I know none of you, none of you roll like that. Encouraging more reviews, again, I can't stress enough when checking out the real time, real person, real rapport, how much of an impact that can have. Ensure your listing is easy to find. Offer money or inducements for reviews is against TripAdvisor policy. So we definitely do not want to be saying, look, I'll give you, we talked about that. Don't forget your website. And now I put that in capital letters, that don't neglect the review areas of like what clients are saying about you. Now you don't, yes, it's great, you can embed the TripAdvisor widget on your homepage, but put some love into how you're presenting your reviews on your own website. Okay, again, so that you have your website, so despinasbnb.com/reviews. Okay, to get some ownership too. And there's nothing, if they've gone on your listing and reviewed your business, there's also nothing from you from copying and pasting that onto your website, okay, to create another avenue. There's nothing to stop you. What I've done for clients is I've even created little quote graphics. So if I've had a raving fan of a client, I'll make them, you know, you see these inspirational quotes of Gandhi or whatever. Like, I'll actually make the review that they've said the inspirational quote, and then say something like, thank you, Brett, for your kind, you know, Brett stayed with us on the other day, and this is what he had to say. So you're mixing in what the guest has said with something visual. Okay, there's another tip. Canva, remember canva.com? That's a great place to do that, to leverage, especially the positive ones. I want you to leverage those. And it's the same thing when you have when you have your own review URL on your website. You know, that's something that you can also embed into your own, you know, customer links and proposals. Have a look at what our clients have to say here, and you want to be presenting your best self. Okay, put visual love into your listing, give your customers, we want to, I think this is now, we're just summarizing, this is the last thing that I want to share with you. The algorithm to get ahead for TripAdvisor is based on very much three things: the quality, the recency, and the quantity of reviews. Okay, so that's what we have. We summarize TripAdvisor. Don't have to register your business. Responding to negative reviews. I know we've gone over. This is the most we've gone over. I'm normally so good with my timing, but I apologize that I made that error in the beginning, and it's like I showed up to the wrong venue. That's the equivalent of what I did. So any questions, please ask. Please email me now. If you loved this session, you can leave me a review. It will mean the absolute world. So here's, you know, I have to practice what I teach here. Now, for me, it's the reviews mean a lot to my business as a small business, and there's a URL, because if we don't ask, if you never ask, the answer will always be no. So don't forget about your free membership at tourismtribe.com as well, /ad-hoc. So free for 12 months. Any questions? I'm happy to hang out for another couple of minutes. If you wanted to have a chat, again, my sincere apologies for kicking off things a little bit late. But otherwise, look, over the next week, it does take some time to edit and upload and do all of these stuff with the slides and the recording. But as I always promise, I will get these to you. And for those that had to leave earlier, they will have those as well. But I see there's no questions. Kylie, did you have a question? Your little hand up is there. But if there's no questions, did you enjoy? Did you get value out of this? Maybe I can ask you a question. Was this valuable for those of you that are still with me? Can you use your in-house guest post and post the comments into your website? I would highly recommend that you do. Kylie, absolutely. Absolutely. That would even make a cute little, that will make cute photo for your social media. If you have a guest book, yes, definitely. Was there any other questions? Always is. Fantastic. Thank you again for being here, Brett. Really appreciate it. Don't have to ask permission. Look, at the fact that they're leaving it there, it's no different. It's there for people, for other guests to come and see. To make you, when in doubt, it's like when in doubt with food. When in doubt, throw it out. If that's even something that you're worried about, put a little something at the front of your guest book. You know, put something in there to say, please share your comments on our guest book, and you know, we can share the love, you know, on our website. We will share the love on our website, or let your guests know on when they are, if you're asking for them, even when they're checking out, and say, look, can you take, it will mean the world to us if you take 5 minutes to just write about your experience in our guest book. And I would highly recommend you do that too, because I know I love reading guest books. And I just recently, it's funny that you just said that, because I've recently stayed somewhere and I loved looking back. Even the kids love looking back at all the guest books. But come to think of it, I don't think I left one, which is really bad. But I don't think we left one in there. So I think as a backup, it would be a good thing. I would have totally left one if I was asked, because we built so much rapport with the host. I would have done anything, but nothing was followed up. And I think, you know, life gets busy. I would have really loved if he said, look, you know, you enjoyed your stay. Anyway, there's so much power in asking when they're there and there. We all have this magical device that, provided we have internet access, you know, we can nip it in the bud and do it there. Have got to go, Dee. Many thanks. Thank you so much, Brett. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you. Time for all of us to go. Have a wonderful week. We've got one more at the end of the month. Details to come. Can't wait. Okay. Oh, Kylie, you've got one more. We are a small property, so our quantity of reviews is really low compared to others. But it affects our renting. So we've got to hustle, Kylie. We've got to hustle. Like, you've got to get, I mean, everything that we spoke about today, we've got to, especially as small businesses and as small properties, we've got to lift our game in our strategy and how we're going to drive this, okay, and really put it into the mix. Okay, I hope that's helpful. So I will send everything your way, guys. Take good care. And we will meet again for one last time. I hope it's not the last time forever, but we will meet again one last time. Okay? Oh, okay. Peace out. Thanks.